Check it out, y'all. It's Julio G -radio. It is going down -1 tonight, or today, I should say. Straight Outta Compton. You know, this is the movie that's coming out this week, and I'm very honored to have these young brothers that did an incredible job on the movie. Of course, I mean, you guys can introduce yourselves. You guys can introduce yourselves so everybody knows who everybody is. You can introduce.
Yeah, man, this is your boy, Jason Mitchell. You know what it is, what it was, and what it will be. Straight Outta Compton, I play Eazy-E.
Yeah.
This is Corey Hawkins, I play Dr. Dre.
This is O'Shea Jackson Jr., I play Ice Cube.
First of all, congratulations on the movie, and I got to tell you, the reviews have been incredible, so you guys got to be like super hyped on that. You know what I mean?
Man.
Feeling it right.
I got to be honest with you. I knew, you know, I go way back in the days to the original 1580K Day, and I met Eazy. I know Dre since World Class Wrecking Crew, and I met Eazy back, you know, when the Boys in the Hood first came out. We were on the radio, and he brought the record to the radio show we were doing. But I gotta tell you, Jason, you played that role. So I mean, because I hung with Eric that last year of his life, maybe 2 years, like almost every day, because he used to be at our studio.
Wow.
And you know, when I watched the movie yesterday, man, I'll be honest with you, I can't watch it again, because it was so emotional for me. I was like, wow, I don't know if I could watch it another time, because especially at the end, because it kind of it showed these, you know, when I was talking to Eazy when he was in the hospital, you showed like kind of like the side that I didn't get to see, which was like, you know, he was on the other side of the phone, but I didn't, you know, I wasn't putting it in that perspective. Like they already had told me he was going to pass away, and that whole thing was really emotional. I got to tell you, I give it to you. You really. You know, a lot of people talked about they want an Eazy son to do it and this and that, but it you know, Dre and them were right. They needed to find a person that could shoot and do it that way, but you nailed it.
I appreciate that,
yeah,
man.
I mean, nailed it.
Shout out to Lil E too, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt about it.
He had the welcome wagon waiting on me, you know what I mean? And they really let me know what he stand for as a man, you know, and to really capture the essence of him, you got to know, you know, what somebody stand for, you know?
Right. How'd you get the mannerisms? Because you walk like them, you did these certain things that remind. I'm telling you, that's why I say when I was watching it, I was like, I got like emotional about it. I was like, damn, I feel like by the middle of the movie, I'm like, this is Eric.
Right.
Like, this is Eric all over again at a young age when we were young, you know what I mean? And I was just like, damn, it was just, it really blew me away.
I put a lot of time into that. You know, I really did, because I'm from New Orleans. And of course, we don't walk like that, talk like that. You know, it's a whole different culture. So shout out to Dub C. You know, F. Gary Gray, he put us through like a 2-month boot camp, you know, and through that whole time, for at least 6 hours a day, I would talk like I was from California, you know what I mean, and from Compton, and walk like it, you know what I mean. And I studied the gang culture and all that, because it's motion, and it's points to what they do, you know what I mean. And it's a way that they carry themselves, and it's not about. It's a pride thing, you know what I mean. And I was kind of pleased in the middle of shooting a movie when we got to these really big performance scenes, when people was like, you from LA, right? Where you from? You from LA, right? I'm like, nah, I'm from New Orleans. And they like, Lord, that's crazy. We would have really thought you was from LA, you know. And like for a while, maybe like for a month or two after that, I was like stuck like that for a minute.
Yeah.
You know, I still like find myself standing certain ways, and you know, I'm like, man, it's a trip, but. You know, I really owed that to them. You know what I mean? Because it's a time portal that you got to jump in, and you got to really understand the lifestyle. You know what I mean? But it's also a thing that you can't pay that much attention to, because it doesn't have anything to do with the movie. You know what I mean? It's still, you know, these guys going through a certain thing at a certain time, but all that mechanical stuff is things that can throw you off the, you know what I mean? Throw you off the mark. You know, now you start looking like, oh man, that wasn't out back then, man. These dudes lying. You know what I mean? There's so much stuff that you can miss the mark with, you know? And yeah, man, shout out to F. Gary Gray. He did a real good job with that.
Incredible. I want to ask you, Corey, about Dre's voice, because the thing that I noticed, you got that voice down so, I mean, to the T. I mean, it was just like I said, I just thought, well, Dr. Dre at a young age. I just thought, I mean, how did that go, and how did you work with that and figure that out, like to make that, you know, and then to act and do it. It's very.
I mean, it's one thing to, you know, impersonate or try to mimic somebody. I don't think I'm a really good mimic. You know, I think it's just about getting in there and understanding, you know what I mean, doing the work, doing the research, being in the boot camp, watching the videos, you know, Dre being there on set every single day. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of pressure, but at the same time, it bolsters you up, you know? He told me from the beginning, I don't want you to impersonate me, do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? You got the job, I just want you to come in and represent what NWA represented.
Right,
you know,
right.
the essence of it.
Right. I gotta ask you, O'Shea. And I know O'Shea. I've met him a few times before. And I know your pop since the beginning. You know, back in the days. You know, a lot of people just like, man, his son is playing him, but you did an incredible job. All three of you did, but I mean, your thing was just, I don't know, it just captured Ice Cube to me.
Right.
Because you know, I've heard stories from Jerry Heller, I heard stories from Eazy, I heard, you know, just stories, but just after the fact, you know what I mean? And then to see it all in the movie like that, I was like, it kind of, you know, it filled in some blanks for me in a sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, that's who Ice Cube really was. Because I remember Jerry would say things like, Ice Cube always wanted to be the man, and he this and he that, you know, and if you fit it right into the movie, you know, the way they put it together. But I got to ask you, like, when did you know you got the part? When did he tell you, like, hey, you know what, you got it, man. You're going to be able to do my, you know, me.
He, about almost 2.5 years after he told me he wanted me to get it. So he told me that he wanted me to try out for it. I had to go through the auditioning process like everybody else, and it was 2 years of auditioning and getting called back and auditioning and being called back and acting coaches. They got me Will Smith's acting coach, Aaron Spicer. I flew out to New York. I was living in New York for a little bit, working with a coach out there, Susan Batson. She's Nicole Kidman's coach. And, you know, they were mainly with me for those, you know, 2+ years of you know, really working, trying to get as much acting experience as I could in a short amount of time. Right. And then that all boiled down to a chemistry test where Universal is about to pick, you know, who the big three are.
Right.
You know, my man Jason was the only Eazy there, but it was 3 Cubes and 3 Dre's. You know, it was
heavy.
It was thick in there. So, you know, after I passed out those L's, you know, they picked me.
O'Shea, I want to ask you, why this movie? Why? Because, you know, your dad's been making movies for a long time. I mean, and I seen one of my favorites. I mean, you're barely in there a little bit with Janky Promoters. Oh my God, Janky Promoters is a classic. But why this movie, and why you know, did he say I want you to do this and not like being this movie before that or before?
Well, you know, he's always let us decide, you know, where we want to go with our own path. He's never like forced us in any kind of direction. You know, it's because it's whatever you feel that's what you're going to be best at. You know, you want to do something you love, not something that you think you should do. And I'm a screenwriter first and foremost. You know, I write scripts, and he brought this to me because this movie's bigger than any other movie in our household. You know, this movie is cementing the family legacy in cinema forever.
Oh yeah,
you know, and you can't. This movie has to be as authentic as possible, and I couldn't risk somebody, you know, interpreting what they think Ice Cube would do right here.
Fumbarooski.
Compared to me knowing exactly what he would do, how he would act. Exactly. One of my father's only pieces of like things that he wanted me to get out in this movie was don't have me frown in every scene, you know? And I don't think that somebody, you know, who's a fan of his, who's, you know, a polished actor, I don't think they would have known the side of him that's not frowning the way that I do. Right. You know, so it was something that I had to do. And, you know, a lot of people didn't want me to get it. They believed it was under nepotism and things like that. But, you know, I put in the work. You know, they weren't with me. You weren't with me shooting in the gym. You know, and, everybody should just let my work speak for itself.
I got to ask you guys, speaking of Compton, did you guys film in Compton?
Oh yeah.
So a lot of it was filmed in Compton?
Yeah.
So different parts of Compton?
Absolutely. Compton, South Central, Watts. Yeah, everywhere. You know what I mean? And you know, that was another thing that had to do with the authenticity of it, but you know, like LA supported us heavy.
I was gonna ask you that because
you know
I mean, I live in a city next to Compton, which is Linwood. So I grew up all my life. I still live there to this day. So it's like I grew up like over 40 years there. So I know early Compton and 80s Compton and all that. But I gotta ask you because it's no joke, just hanging out in Compton.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I can imagine trying to film a situation. You got a lot of things that can happen up in the CPT. How did that go, and how did you guys work that out?
To be honest, I mean, I think Compton just, like, you know, we kind of say that it's the sixth character in the movie. You know what I mean? The sixth member of NWA.
Okay.
And you could feel it. You could just feel it. And Compton came out and supported. They was bringing food to the set. They was bringing the babies and the, sleeping on the rooftops. You know what I'm saying? They really, came out and showed up.
What was the hardest scene to shoot in this movie?
Man, they had a few, because a lot of those scenes where like I'm sick and I'm trying not to be, it's I don't know. You go through a lot mentally, and a lot physically.
I gotta
you
tell you,
I
gotta tell you, the cough thing that you did, was just like that.
Yeah.
That was. I mean, I gotta tell you, it was to the T. There was one time when I ran into Eazy at the radio station, and he was coughing, and he told me it was bronchitis.
Right.
And then, but I noticed that his face was peeling. Like his face was peeling right here, like he had been rubbing his face a lot.
Right.
And then, somebody told me later after he passed that had something to do with the HIV and all that kind of stuff. But when you did the cough in there, that's why I say it totally blew me away, because I was like, damn, this guy had to have been there next to Eric.
Wow, what's crazy about
like that, and the way you even went down, and he would be in the studio like that, and it was just really, it was a trip, man.
Man, that's crazy, because like I didn't really know what I was gonna do. You know what I mean? To like build that at first, but like, cause I'm thinking to myself, if I'm buku gangster, you know what I mean, and I'm like trying to hide the fact that or nobody really wants to believe in their mind that they dying. Like, I don't think I got AIDS. I'm just sick. Like, I be going hard. I'm traveling and I'm doing this and doing that.
That's what he was doing.
Yeah. So like, how do you play that? And I just kind of let it form naturally, and then let it be something that builds. And it wasn't something that I really got from anybody. Because I think it was something that bothered everybody so much that they didn't really want to talk about the death part of it. All of that kind of was my own interpretation of it.
Let me ask all you guys about the bond you guys have created with yourselves now, because you guys are like, it's like NWA. You know what I mean? You guys have been hanging out every day and doing things. And I mean, how's the bond with you guys, and what
I'm their only friend.
From day one, we've been kicking it. This was the three at the chemistry test where we felt the electricity in the air. We felt like, these are the guys. This is somebody I could work with.
Right.
And our director Gary Gray would throw things at us, like improvs, things to throw in or whatever, and we could just bounce off each other, and that's how you know. And then later on we brought in Aldous Hodge, who plays Ren, and Neil Brown Jr., who plays Yella. And the five of us have been cool, ever since. It's all from Gary doing things to build that chemistry, though. We re-recorded the entire album. And then when you trying to, get the voices to match, you got something to critique each other on.
Right.
That built up our brotherhood. Those rehearsals and that dumbass studio with the chicken wire on the wall. That helped us build a bond, And so when it was time to be lifelong friends on set, it was easy, because we been hanging, we been kicking,
and it comes off like that. It does come off.
First
like
day
that.
I met this dude. All right, first day he his first time in LA, we doing our scenes or whatever. At the end of the day, everybody's like, all right, we're gonna order pizza for everybody. This is your first time in Los Angeles, bro. I got to take you to In-N-Out. Right. So we took him to In-N-Out, and we've been friends ever since.
I want to ask you about Dre, because you got to hang with Dre and talk to him, and I kind of want to shoot the same question to you. Like, what do you think makes Dre so the way he is, and so incredible at what he is? I mean, because it's different to like see a guy from the outside, hear his music,
exactly,
but it's different when you sitting there talking to this guy. Like, and what is it about this guy that?
I don't know, man. I think we know Dre through his music. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, like that's his pride. You know what I'm saying? That's what he puts everything into. You know what I'm saying? So we never get to see the man behind all of that, And so I mean with Dre, man, he's always like thinking ahead, man. Always one step ahead, We say he's like playing chess. It's the same with Q, Eazy. You know what I mean? They always and I think sometimes, they say it's when luck meets preparation, you know what I'm saying? But a little bit of talent and you go, you know what I'm saying? And that's what Dre had, man. And he was just determined, man. He was confident, and sitting down with him talking, he was just open about everything.
I got to wrap this up, but I got to ask you this last question. For a square person that, I don't want to describe somebody like a square person that just their life is not about Compton. Their life is not about rap music. Their life is not. What do you want them to take? What do you want? No, they do want to see a rap movie. A lot of people will be interested in like, wow, I want to see what this Eazy-E guy and NWA was all about. I've been hearing it for so many years. You know what I mean? What do you want them to take away from this movie?
Just the why. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, you know, judge things, but they don't really know why. You know, they heard the music, you know, and they know all these other facts, but they just don't know why. And that's important to show. You know what I mean? And it's a good history lesson. You know what I mean? And it's inspiration.
And it's a great time in LA at that time. That was a very critical time in LA.
Right.
I think you know. I think people are going to take away that it was more than just curse words.
That's right.
Right.
Exactly.
That's what I think. Because that's what I walked away saying. I was like, wow, you know, that's just more than just, oh yeah, those guys was cussing back then.
Right.
And the funny thing is that everybody talks about NWA today. It's a big deal. Back then, people didn't like them that much. It wasn't like that.
Right.
Some of the people that's congratulating us on this tour didn't like NWA.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all good. Straight Outta Compton isn't a 2.5-hour music video. Straight Outta Compton is a film that speaks to humanity, and you know, all of society needs to be refreshed on some of the things that we speak on in the film. It's way bigger than rap. It's way bigger than six folds and gold chains and Jerry curls. This movie speaks to some real life things. It can't even be put in one genre, so it's for everybody. Get out there and see it first weekend.